Hello, my name is Stephen Prochet, and I'm the local history librarian at the Robbins Library in Arlington, Massachusetts. In this video, I'm going to demonstrate how to search our historic Arlington newspapers database. To get to this database, you can get through it through our e-resources at robbinslibrary.org or typing in the link you see in the address bar arlington.advantage-preservation.com. And this is accessible in and out of the library, so there's no need to create a login. As you can see, when you first open the database, you'll see a search bar that has a term for all of the words and a date range. This will default to all of the words, which will put an and between each term you put in. You can also change it to an exact phrase, any of the words, or none of the words. You can also do a date range between, as it defaults here, 1871 to 2005, but you can also click on the calendar icon to set it to another, more narrower date range. That's something that can come in handy as you're researching obituaries. You can also select to be on a specific date before or after a date. As you scroll down, you'll also see a link to our local history page, which will take you to our post-2005 Arlington Advocate database, as this only searches between 1871 to 2005. Also to the right is our other historic newspapers whose microfilm we digitized. If you click more, you can see the whole list. And finally, you can choose a specific decade right from this screen to browse our newspaper collection. For our example, we're going to do all of the words to start off with and search for Robbins Library. As you can see, this will give 20,257 results. You may notice the first result comes from 1983, even though it's searching from 1871 to 2005. This is because the database searches based on how many times a term is used, rather than chronological order. If I wanted to make sure only the term Robbins Library instead of all words Robbins and library were used, I can switch to exact phrase and then refine the search. This will reduce our results to 12,811. If I wanted to refine further, like if I just wanted articles from the Arlington Advocate, I can check off the box next to Arlington Advocate, scroll down and click on Filter. I can further refine our results by either selecting a search based on decade or even further by year. I'm going to select 1930 for this example. So just by doing these three options of going to exact phrase, selecting Arlington Advocate, and choosing 1930 as the decade, I've narrowed down my results to 735 from the previous 20,000 plus. For each result, it will list the title of the newspaper, day and year it was from, along with text that mentions your search term. As I scroll down, I'm going to select this article from April 20th, 1939. And this will download an actual copy of the newspaper as it was presented back in 1939. You'll also notice the term Robbins Library highlighted in blue to reflect the search you did. You'll also notice this toolbar. If you wanted to view the newspaper in a full screen, you can click this empty square and it'll blow it up to take up your screen. You can also press escape at any time to get out. If you wanted to adjust the brightness or contrast of the newspaper, there's the sun and the half dark, half light circle you can click on. You can also adjust the text size here as well. Alternatively, you can use the minus and plus magnifying glasses to zoom in and out of the newspaper. Over here, if you ever wanted to get back to the home page of the database, you can click on the house icon, or the 3 lines if you wanted to get back to your original search. The magnifying glass on here will allow you to search for different terms on the newspaper, along with options to adjust which terms are highlighted, or if you hadn't done the exact phrase, an option to do an exact search. If I wanted to save the article I'm looking for, in this case, the free courses in adult education, there's 2 ways I can do that. One option is by clicking the down arrow here, which will download a copy of the newspaper in PDF form, which I can open in another screen. From there, I can save to my computer or print. The other option is if I just wanted a copy of the article on free adult education, I can click the square with a line through it to crop the article. This turns my mouse into a cross, and then I can drag over it to get the article I want. From there, I can click this arrow, which will open a copy of the article I had in the news screen. And from there, I can either print a copy of that specific article or save a copy to my computer. I also noticed in this article, it continues on page 5. So whenever you open a result in this database, it takes you right to the whole issue of the newspaper. So in this case, we're on page 1 of 8 of this newspaper. And if I click on this menu, it'll show you all the pages of the newspaper. Since we want to go to page 5, I'm going to select 5 out of 8. And from there, I see Robin's Library highlighted again and see the continuation of the article. And then I can choose one of the options I want to save the article for later. I want to thank you for taking the time to view this video on how to search our historic Arlington newspapers database. I also want to thank the Arlington Libraries Foundation and local historian Richard Duffy, whose funding helped make the digitization of our microfilm onto this database possible. If you have more questions on how to search our new database, you can reach out through any of our contact methods at robinslibrary.org, or you can email the local history department at arlhist, that's ARLHIST, @minlib.net. Thank you.